So they stare into each other's eyes one final time, touch gloves, and get prepared for battle.
Todd, it's one of my favorite venues. You can't get a better place to fight.
So a capacity crowd here for this one. We've been waiting a long time for this matchup. Here we go. High hopes for this battle between these two athletes. Clean left jab. A perfect counter lands. He needs to be careful not to punch himself out. Incredible work rate. This fighter focuses on those long, straight punches, staying on the outside, and winning round after round.
Outside fighters create so much unpredictable movement. Move left to right, box forward, box backwards. You don't know if they're going to attack or defend. Nightmare fighters.
Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be a puller right there. Here we are. And yes, he is the greatest, Muhammad Ali, fighting out of Louisville, Kentucky. These two have certainly talked the talk. Now they've got to walk the walk.
All what's left is for the first bell to go. That's all we need now, because the build-up is getting ridiculous.
Under the bright lights here for this one, really good matchup, and we're hoping for a really good fight. These athletes have promised us a war. Let's see if they deliver. Jab does not score. And not throw out a lazy jab in this fight, you'll get knocked out. That jab won't score. Counter lands. Johnny, a lot of fighters focus on their defense with their hands up. This fighter focuses on their defense with their footwork, moving on those angles, staying out of danger. Oh, hold on a second, Johnny. If there's anyone that can get out of trouble, it's Muhammad Ali. Big shot, and down goes Ali. I want to see that again, but from a different angle. Muhammad. The fans are ready. These two fighters promised us an offensive show. Let's see if they deliver. Jab to the body. Hook misses. We've seen this fighter in the past go 12 rounds and not have a mark on their face. That's what happens when you stick and move. You hit and you don't get hit.
Oh, this is what it's all about. Hit and don't get hit. Jab, move, pop, slip. Use your footwork. Drive your opponent crazy.
He takes that jab. Nice slip to avoid the jab. Good counter punch. Nice counter shot. This slugger isn't interested in winning rounds. He just wants to win the fight, and he's not going to do it on the scorecard, Johnny. He needs a KO.
How you deal with a slugger? You've got to use brain over brawn. Bull in a matador. Pop, jab, move. Get them angry.
Nice exchanges from both men in this round.
Perfectly matched. Skill for skill. Tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
Beautiful counter shot. Just missed with that hook. That counter shot lands. He needs to be careful not to punch himself out. It's obvious who the bigger, stronger fighter is. Let's see if they use it to their advantage.
Very smart, very sharp. This is a fit young man style that he's got to get inside that long reach. Not many fights can do that.
Unlucky to miss with that jab. This fighter expending a lot of energy in this round. That counter, despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Let's talk about Ali in that last round. That was almost a 10-8 round. There's the bell for round two. Well, there's no doubt about who won that last round. Let's see what he has for us here in the next one.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything worked. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Well, we know what the game plan is going to be for this fighter. He's got to stick and move and avoid the big shots from the bigger man.
There's a lot of weight there to give away, and if you're giving it away that weight, you've got to use it to the maximum because you've got to be smart. Every shot hurts. It's not about skill, it's more about power.
Right uppercut can't find a home. Deciding to let it all hang out here in this round. What heart, what desire, but at what cost? The positives and negatives in the heavyweight division are the same. You can win the fight with one punch, and you can lose the fight in one punch. So far, both of these fighters have had their moments.
Skill for skill, tap for tap, just like a match made in heaven.
Nope, that jab not going to score. They exchange punches. The only fear you have with this heavyweight is has he punched himself out? Is he going to punch himself out, though? And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. They threw the hook. It didn't land. Catch and shoot. Can't find a home with that jab. Blocks the right hook. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about Ali in in that. On to the third. Really seemed to exhaust themselves last round. Let's see what they have left.
An amazing pace and tempo set in the last round. Can you keep this up? Me personally, I don't think that's possible. And if they can, their training, their conditioning would have been ridiculous, like they're in the army. But these guys, if they can keep up this pace, we are in for a great night.
They hit like heavyweights, but they move like middleweights. Truly elite level stuff here.
Because you've got a good chin doesn't mean you've got leather skin. It means you can still get caught. So you've got to go for those point areas over the eyebrow, the cheekbone. You've just got to try and cut them, skim and go for speed.
Right hook just missed. Not throw out a lazy jab in this fight, you'll get knocked out. One punch changes everything in this division. It's the heavyweights.
When you have a fight that's got that great footwork and that great hand speed, it's so hard. It's an uphill battle.
A perfect counter shot. Big shots from both these fighters. Got to be careful, though.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
The jab doesn't quite connect. Is he going to punch himself out, though? Counter punches have to hurt. His stamina is off the charts. Well, Johnny, we're a couple rounds in. What are you seeing so far?
They know the second they touch you, it's done. They're that powerful.
Misses with the jab. They need to be careful they don't punch themselves out here. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Ali in that last round. You've heard the old phrase, here we go in round 4. Who's going to land the first big shot? How much do they have left in the tank after that last round?
Exerted a lot of energy in the fight so far. Now they're shattered. This is what you call championship rounds. If you have done the work, slept right, ate right, prepped right, I'm expecting you to get through this. If not, if you've cheated, the ring can be the loneliest place in the world.
Careful for that receipt. It's always coming. This is the heavyweight division. One punch could end this fight.
Don't get trigger happy, because all of a sudden you're going to be gassing yourself down trying to get that shot, and that's when they catch you.
Unlucky to miss with that uppercut. Threw a punch and just got countered. Walk away from each other and then run right back into trouble. Starting to take some deep breaths now, but still fighting hard. There's a big difference between being the aggressor and the effective aggressor. Which type are we seeing so far?
How do you deal with an aggressive fighter? What you do is you fight fire with fire. You either give it them back because that's where they're comfortable, or you play calm, play cool.
Can they figure out the combination to this sink?
Skill for skill, tap for tap. It's just like a match made in heaven.
jab. He just misses with that jab. A perfect counter lands. These are heavyweights, but I tell you what, that hand speed and footwork, they look like middleweights.
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
You can see the heavy breathing, but that's not slowing him down. How about that time counter shot? A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Let's talk about Ali in that last round. Now you start wondering how much work these two fighters did in the gym.
Yeah, that hate the grind and sweat the blood, the time I motivate.
Yeah, it's really tough.
Here we go in round 5. Who's going to land the first big shot? Fatigue is setting in. Let's see how they handle it here in this round.
What are they doing that now? Are they trying to get an ending out? That's a lot of energy burst. They did 6 rounds in one. They're going to be absolutely shattered.
Throws the jab, but it doesn't score. Jab slightly off target. In the build-up to this fight, Johnny, this power puncher told us, listen, I don't care if it's round 1 or round 12, I've got enough power and confidence to end this in one shot.
Sometimes when you get in there with someone that's so powerful, you've got to thinking. You've just got to be smarter than them. You've got to be like a little Fagin and pickpocket them.
Counter punching. Holding nothing back here in the round. You can't throw out a lazy jab in this fight. You're going to get knocked out. Endurance is becoming a factor. You can see this fighter having a hard time getting out of the way of the punches, and they're not throwing as many on their own.
Now this is about desire. This is about character. This is about want.
A very competitive round here so far.
Perfectly matched. Skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
A lot of effort being exerted here. You can't make a mistake at the heavyweight level and not expect to be punished for it. That jab doesn't score. Nice counter shot. Nice counter. His stamina is off the charts. Stamina is off the charts. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Ali. There's the bell for round 6. How much is left in their tank after last round?
An amazing pace and tempo set in the last round. Can you keep this up? Me personally, I don't think that's possible. And if they can, they're
speaking, you don't watch heavyweights to see a boxing match. You want to see a fist fight.
It's the one who draws first blood, Todd. That's what you've got to look at. If you're there and you know you're...
The straight right just misses. Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. And that left hook doesn't find its target. Nice counter punch right up the middle. Tried to score with a jab. But Johnny, as you know, there's a fine line between being aggressive and being too aggressive.
I've seen some aggressive fighters. They can terrorize the life out of you before they've even thrown their shot. The strength they have, the speed they have, and that knockout punch, they want to punch through you. They don't want to punch you. They want to punch straight through you. So you've got to be careful.
These two are the perfect dance partners.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
The only fear you have with this fighter is, has he punched himself out? Just misses with that uppercut. There's nothing quite like a big heavyweight fight. Everything can change with one punch.
What a gift. What a gift it is to have a chin where you know you can walk through anything and everything. When you let those shots go and it's just bouncing off and they're walking you down, it's so demoralizing. It absolutely breaks your heart. What else can you do?
This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Ali in that last round. Stamina is always an issue in a prize fight.
There's a lot on the line here.
The right hand's beautiful, that's it. Start sticking in a few buttons, and now you're switching on.
Here comes round 7. Let's see how much recovery they saw there in the last minute.
Exerted a lot of energy in the fight so far. Now they're shattered. This is what you call championship rounds. If you have done the work, slept right, ate right, prepped right, I'm expecting you to get through this. If not, if you've cheated, the ring can be the loneliest place in the world.
He's putting the pedal to the metal, but has to be careful that he doesn't run out of gas. Might want to think of holding on here for a minute. Well, they're going deep into the gas tank on this round. What do you think of this fight so far, Johnny?
So you're getting in there with someone that's so fast, you're prepared to take a look at it because you've got to get some before you get in close.
Big hook. Good thing it didn't land. Punch, counter punch. And he misses with that jab. Pretty close fight here in this round.
Skill for skill, tap for tap, just like a match made in heaven.
Beautiful counter punch. One of the best attributes to have in boxing has nothing to do with boxing. It's how well you can take a punch to the face.
Todd, you know what? Sometimes when I've gone in the ring with fights like that and you punch them, you just want to run. You want that spaceship to come and lift you out there because you think, what the hell am I going to do now?
Incredible work rate. Straight right just misses. And he just missed with that left jab. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Let's talk about Ali in that. And there's the bell for round 8. That 1-minute break surely wasn't enough for him to completely recover.
What are they doing that round? Are they trying to get an earning out? That's a lot of energy burst. They did 6 rounds in one. They're going to be absolutely shattered.
Don't let this fighter's speed fool you. There's some method to the madness. These are precision shots, and they're coming at lightning speed.
Some fighters are just gifted with such hand speed, footwork, movement. They are gifted. They are the chosen few.
Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. So close for that uppercut. What heart, what desire, but at what cost? Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. A big whiff with the right hook. We both know who the bigger power puncher is. There's a significant power difference. How would you handle that?
That power might be the do or die. That power might be the equalizer.
There's a counter shot. Just gets out of the way of that right uppercut. Throws the jab, but does not score. He misses with that jab. And he scores with the counter. Can't land that jab. Done with that counter shot. The only fear you have with this fighter is, has he punched himself out? This fighter expending a lot of energy in this round. Nice counter punch. Talk about Ali in that last round. And we enter the ninth. Was 1 minute enough time for them to recover after what we saw last round?
An amazing pace and tempo set in the last round. Can you keep this up? Me personally, I don't think that's possible. And if they can, their training, their conditioning would have been ridiculous, like they're in the army. But these guys, if they can keep up this pace, we are in for a great night.
I think it's safe to say one of these fighters certainly has a significant speed advantage. You can tell who it is.
You've got to ruffle their feathers, Todd. You cannot let them get comfortable, drag them, get them complaining to the referee, because once somebody with excellent foot speed and excellent power gets into the rhythm, the fight is over.
He needs to be careful not to punch himself out. The beast, Eddie Hall, is down. That punch to the head looks so good live. Let's see it again in slow motion and really appreciate it.
Where did that come from? What a shot.
So time to go celebrate.